Got your spot in the back. Oh no.
Sorry, I'm late.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Even in this cold, you're determined to ride.
Don't know what I was thinking. It sounded like a good idea when I started
Rest
there.
in the
Like,
wind.
I'm freaking out just right tonight. Like, I get up like, hey, it's cool.
A little cold. So at least it's not super far, right?
Yeah, that's true. Like, hard. Are you double dipping? What's going on? You got two cameras?
I got two cameras. I do one on YouTube because the sound thing here sometimes doesn't do as good with the connection. So people have complained about that. So I do one that's like an actual recording, and then the other one's a live.
I've seen the one on YouTube. You're right.
Yeah, and it just kind of helps a little bit with.
I appreciate you sharing it in different channels now.
Yeah, it's important.
Because some
It's
people
easier to
couldn't.
find for some.
Yeah.
You know, like not everybody does Facebook.
Right.
And now I'm doing it on my actual page that I can't block anybody from, so everybody has
I was
access.
going to say something.
I remember that problem. Hey, we'll fix it as we go here.
I'm like, all right, that's easy. That's great. I love how it's. Yeah, I decided. You did? Yeah, so you and my sister got hit. Yes, that's great. And I know. Oh, like.
Did you go to the Louisa Speed Bump yet? You want to? I would do it. Drive over. Get out. 15 minutes inside. It's really exciting, but they work. I mean, they're something we can totally make it. Yeah.
Always a little bit before I and then you start and give it like 10-15 seconds and it goes through.
I know we're doing
I know. It's been a long day. But I'm almost there. Yes, we're almost there.
All right.
Just where.
I'm gonna leave him. Oh, really? Oh, I think we're good to make it Shouldn't they just name it after me? That might be the best thing to ever done. I wasn't. You have to put all the things. Yeah, Renee, you can text me.
Is that you with the donut? Bringing up the donut.
Good evening to everyone. Welcome to the City of Lemon Grove's regular city council meeting. I would like to remind everyone to please silence your cell phones. City clerk, will you please go on to call the roll of the city council members to go on the record as an attendant?
Councilmember Altamirano. Present. Councilmember Heredia. Here. Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza.
Here.
Mayor Snow.
Here.
Mayor Snow and city council members, we have a quorum of the city council.
And if everyone will please rise, and I'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any changes to the agenda?
Mayor Snow, yes, we do have one change to tonight's agenda. City council member appointee Seth Smith has requested to pull consent calendar item number 1C.
With that, we'll move on to the administration of the oath. We are now here for the swearing-in ceremony for the newly appointed council member Seth Smith. At this time, I would like to invite Planning Commissioner Manola Clark Manson to administer the oath of office to our new council member. It's my great honor to do this. If you would like to have a little closer. There we go. It's my great honor to do this. So you'll repeat after me, and you have a sheet in front of you. I, and your name, do solemnly swear
I, Seth Smith, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter. Thank you.
We'll now give our newest council member, Seth Smith, the opportunity to share some remarks with us.
Well, I am honored to have been selected by this council to fill the council seat that was regretfully left to us by the passing of Stevie Fayai. I hope to serve in his memory and to do him justice. I see a bright future ahead of Lemon Grove. I truly believe we're on an upswing, and I look forward to working with my council colleagues closely and cooperatively to help us all get there.
Yes, you get flowers. Congratulations.
Okay.
Well, now I can see it.
All right.
And we are gonna take a quick 5-minute break, to allow us to get the podium set back up and everything. And then everybody can give their, glad tidings and well wishes to our newest council member. So we'll reconvene in about 5 minutes. Thank you.
Now you do. Lucky, just by reading.
Yeah, gotta have it here.
I did hear that,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Are we
So you know, this is
All right.
We are back on the record, but we are ready for our second roll call. Now that we have everybody here, so City Clerk, will you please call a roll of the City Council members to go on the record as in attendance?
Councilmember Heredia,
Here.
Councilmember Aldebarano,
Here.
Councilmember Smith,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza,
Here.
Mayor Snell.
Here.
We have a quorum of the City Council.
Wonderful, and we are not done with Seth Smith yet. Next, we have a recognition of our outgoing planning commissioner, Seth Smith. Today, I have the great privilege of recognizing Seth as someone who has devoted his time and talent in the service of the city of Lemon Grove, our outgoing planning commissioner, Seth. Seth began his term on April 17th, 2018, and concluded his service on December 10th, 2025, marking over 7 years of dedicated public service on the Planning Commission. During his tenure, Seth has played a key role in shaping thoughtful recommendations that have helped guide the growth, development, and character of our city. His professionalism, collaborative spirit, and steady approach to complex issues have been deeply appreciated by this council, the city staff, and by this community. On behalf of the entire city council, thank you, Seth, for your commitment and contribution to the city of Lemon Grove. And I'd like to open the floor to any of the planning commissioners or staff who may wish to offer a few words or share their appreciation of the outgoing planning commissioner. We'll first recognize. Ms. Jackie Clark, thank you.
Hello, everyone. Congratulations, Seth, and congratulations to the city council. You had a fabulous person coming on board. I know that it was 3 of our planning commissioners that competed for the position, and Seth obviously won, but I want to say what a great leader and representative he was for the planning commission. We learned a lot from him. He's composed, he's fair, he's reasonable, he's insightful. And so bringing that to the council will only benefit not only just the council, but the whole city of Lemon Grove. Congratulations, Seth.
Manola Clark Manson.
So I haven't learned that you don't go after Jackie. So all the things that Jackie said, plus not only did I learn things from you, Seth, but what I saw in your behavior as chair on the commission is going to bode well for here. And that is, you listen carefully, and even though you may have come in with one idea, you're more than willing to open your heart and your mind to other ideas. And that, watching that happen over and over and over again, is something that it reinforces my belief in government and my belief that this council is benefiting from your greatness. So thank you.
All right, and now at this time, I'd like to present former Commissioner Seth Smith with a plaque as a small token of our appreciation for your service. And we're retiring his nameplate. And recognizing Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza.
I think I met Seth when he was about 18 or 19 years old. He was volunteering. We used to do the Relay for Life in Lemon Grove for the American Cancer Society. So there's a lot of people who've participated in that. And Seth always had a booth with his church. It was a very faith-based Relay for Life that we did here in Lemon Grove. And then Seth went off to college, and when he came back, he was still helping out in Lemon Grove. And the first time he applied for the Planning Commission, he also interned with the city. I thought, oh, this guy's too young, you know, and we didn't select him. And then the second time that he applied for the Planning Commission, we selected him. And I'm really glad that we did, and I'm not gonna cry, although I kind of feel like it. It's like one of your kids is up here, you know, and my star is fading. I'm hoping to be, after 22 years, I'm hoping to be out of this pretty soon and just stay home and take care of the grandkids. But anyway, Seth, I'm super, super proud of you, and I know you're gonna do a great job, and I'm really happy to have you here. Thank you.
All right, now it's time for the general public comment portion of the meeting. The public may express their concerns about items that are not on the agenda tonight. According to state law, the city council is not allowed to respond to any comments expressed by the public. However, we will make sure that somebody reaches out to you and will communicate with you about any questions or concerns that you have or any follow-up that you need. Per the Lemon Grove Municipal Code, Chapter 2.14.15, please keep all comments addressed to the city council as a body and not to any individual member. Each speaker will have 3 minutes. When speaking, please observe the green light, yellow light, and red light. The red light indicates that it's time for the next speaker to approach the podium. I'll now go to public comments. Our first speaker is John L. Wood.
John L. Wood, Lemon Grove. First, I'd like to know what's up on the bicycle ordinance. It also includes electric scooters. Bicycles have never been permitted to ride on the sidewalk. And watching the people in Lemon Grove ride their electric bicycles and their electric scooters, they're a bunch of kamikazes. Next is speed humps. What's up? La Mesa has theirs already. I talked to the council member in La Mesa that was very active in pushing it through. She was supposed to call me back. It took her 2 months or better to call me back. Well, I did the same thing to her. I didn't call her back. But you gotta do something about the speed on Central, especially Central, because it's downhill. And you got a bunch of kamikaze drivers that go 40, maybe 50 miles an hour. And my car got hit one night. The driver of that car also hit the wall of my neighbor, knocked it down. My car isn't fixed. It's not going to be fixed because he was hit and run, and it took the lieutenant about 2 months to get around to finding my paperwork. And it's gonna cost, I had an estimate on it, it's only gonna cost $7,000 to fix the car. Thank you, bye.
Appreciate your comments, Mr. Wood. Next we have Jay Bass.
Good evening, congratulations, welcome to that. I just want to thank city staff in particular for the bonfire last week. That was one of the nicest things I've been to in a long time. Great to see all my neighbors out there and friends, saw most of you there. That was just a nice community event. I wish we could do something like that in July. I know we can't do the parade anymore, but that was a really well done event. We've got a fresh start here with the recall being stopped. As a council member, I look forward to seeing all you five work together. So thank you for what you're doing for the city.
Thank you, Mr. Bass. That was an amazing bonfire. I think we can give the staff another round of applause for that. And it is, this year in July, it's the 250th birthday of the United States of America, so stay tuned. Next we have Ann Stapleton.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. Congratulations, Seth. My name is Ann Stapleton, and I am here on behalf of Revitalize Broadway, which is a coalition, grassroots coalition of Lemon Grove residents and Lemon Grove business owners. And we are hosting our second annual Lemon Grove Christmas Caroling down Broadway. The coalition itself meets once a month to come up with ideas and initiatives at grassroots level to help revitalize the downtown corridor, basically from Treganza Park to the Promenade and then down Broadway all the way to Charlie Hamburgers. And so one of the initiatives that we came up with last year, and did a couple times, 2 times last year, was we met at the Promenade and we had little Christmas bells and packets of music and lyrics, and we walked down Broadway and sang to anybody that would listen. We sang to businesses, we went inside the Pollo Grill, we went inside the Lemon Grove Bistro, we stood outside Kelvin and sang to all the people in the apartments. And it was a lot of fun, cars were honking and support. And so we're gonna do it again this year, one time, and it is going to be taking place, we're starting this time at Lemon Grove's new event center, the neighborhood. And we are going to meet there at 4 p.m. this Saturday. And from there, we're gonna break off, maybe, if we have enough people, into 2 groups. If we have 2 guitarists, we'll go down different sides of Broadway, and we've talked to the businesses, and a lot of them will hopefully still be open at 4 p.m. on Saturday. And then we're gonna end up back at the neighborhood, and then we're gonna have a family-friendly sing-along, led by Talia Morales, a Lemon Grove resident and business owner. She owns Animo Musica. So she's going to be leading a family-friendly sing-along. Everyone who hears my voice in Lemon Grove is invited. We'd love to have you all there. And Santa will make an appearance on his motorcycle for a photo op on the patio. So please spread the news and let everybody know. Thank you.
Appreciate it, thank you so much. And our final speaker on public comment is Victoria.
Hello, everyone. First, it's lovely to see a full council. Congratulations. I also want to echo what Jay Bass said, that I attended the Lemon Grove bonfire. That was my first time attending as a fairly new resident, and it was just lovely. And then the body of my comment is about the recent COPS presentation. I wanted to note that I'm against the long-term funding of this program for several reasons. I observed what I perceived to be a lack of transparency and accountability with this program. I thought the metrics were fuzzy, especially when contrasting to the recent RTFH presentation. I was also reflecting on an incident that a council member raised where a teenager was followed when they were leaving school or on their way to school. I can't quite remember the details, but I read more about it in East County Magazine, and from what I understand, it was actually a fellow community member who intervened and stopped whatever person was harassing this young person. And to me, it just underscored that one of our greatest safety measures, safety nets, is one another in the community, and it ultimately falls outside of formal policing bodies such as the sheriff's office. So ultimately, I just think that the money could be better invested in other more expensive ways to keep us safe. Thank you.
Appreciate it, thank you so much.
And Mayor Snow, before you close public comment, my office has received public comment from Ken King. That letter has been distributed to the full council, and copies have been made available, and they're available at the public review.
Thank you so much. This concludes the general public comment portion of the agenda. And next, I will turn to the consent calendar. Do we have any public comment on the consent calendar?
Mayor Snow and council members, I have no speaker slips for the consent calendar.
And do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar excluding item number 1C?
Approval?
Second?
The motion was made by Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza with a second by Mayor Snow to approve the consent calendar excluding item 1C. I will now conduct the roll to go on the record. Councilmember Heredia,
Aye.
Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
Councilmember Altamirano,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza,
Aye.
Mayor Snow.
Aye.
The motion carries on a vote of 5-0.
In the reports to council, item number 2 is the resolutions approving the second amended and restated regional wastewater disposal agreement and administrative agreement number 1 with the city of San Diego. I'm going to introduce our Public Works Director, Izzy Murguia, to present the staff report.
Good evening, Chair and members of the District Board. Here with me tonight is Dexter Wilson from Dexter Wilson Engineering, who is an engineer with the Metro JPA. He will be providing me with an assist this evening on tonight's presentation. The item before you this evening is a recommendation to approve the second amended and restated Regional Wastewater Disposal Agreement, also known as SARA, and the administrative agreement number 1 between the Lemon Grove Sanitation District and the City of San Diego. Next slide, please. Before we get into the SARA and the administrative agreement number 1, I'd like to provide some background. The Sanitation District owns and operates its wastewater, also known as sewer collection system, that serves residents and businesses within the City of Lemon Grove city limits. The district does not own a wastewater treatment plant and does not treat its sewage. Thus, wastewater is conveyed out of Lemon Grove, primarily through the south and the west end of the district, and into the San Diego Regional Wastewater System. From here, wastewater flows through various Metro facilities and are treated either at San Diego's North City Water Reclamation Plant, where they are reclaimed for beneficial use, and some flows are treated at the Point Loma Wastewater Treatment Plant, where wastewater is then treated and discharged into the Pacific Ocean. The district is one of 12 participating agencies, also known as PAs, and I will refer to them as PAs in this presentation, that utilize the Metro system. Each party maintains an interagency agreement with the City of San Diego for the transportation, treatment, and disposal of its wastewater. Next slide, please. In 1998, a regional wastewater disposal agreement was negotiated between the City of San Diego and the 12 PAs. The agreement outlined roles and responsibilities of the parties, outlined a billing structure, and gave the PAs an advisory role on how the system should be operated through the creation of a Metro Commission. In 2000, the PAs formed the Metro Wastewater Joint Powers Authority, also known as Metro JPA, as a separate legal entity with the authority and responsibility to take actions and make decisions pertaining to the 1998 agreement. We're here tonight to obtain approval of the SARA and Administrative Agreement number 1 to modernize and update the agreement, which has been deemed inadequate to meet the current needs of the system. And in this picture, it's hard to see, but we have our alternate board member, Jessica Heredia, out in the forefront, and then we have Chairman Jerry Jones somewhere in the back, I believe. I unfortunately wasn't able to make the tour, but I heard it was fantastic. Next slide. So why did the Metro JPA start revising the 1998 amended restated agreement? I'm sorry, that's the 2021 amended restated agreement. In 2021, the Metro JPA amended the 1998 agreement as a temporary measure while placing 6 items referred to as the parking lot items that needed to be resolved in good faith in one or more future amendments. Next slide. It is through the SARA that seeks to resolve the 6 parking lot items, as well as improving the 2021 amended restated agreement in various ways. First and foremost, obviously, the SARA agreement will amend and supersede the existing 2021 amended restated agreement. SARA reorganizes the ARA and modernizes the language. It streamlines Metro JPA's authority to handle operational issues. And again, as I referred to earlier, addresses 6 specific parking lot items that were left unresolved in 2021. And we'll delve into those in the next couple of slides. And it also provides more flexibility for future technical and administrative changes through what is known as administrative agreements to keep the SARA document relevant for the next 40+ years. And to talk a little bit more of that process, I'm going to hand it over to Dexter.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Snow and Council, for letting me address you. Gotta get this right, but when we were revising SARA, it became apparent that the cost to go through the process that we've been going through since 2021 was a lot. We don't want to have to do it every 4 years. We did this in 2021, and this is 2025. So we looked at ways to streamline changes to the agreement and worked with the city to develop a process where the JPA board and the city could make changes to the document without going back out to all 12 agencies. And that is a fairly costly undertaking to get 12 agencies to unanimously agree to changes. We're still working with one agency on the document for you. So we established 4 paths and agreed to which elements of the agreement could be changed by these 4 paths. One of them is very extensive in the agreement, and it's just the city's administrative approval. There are a lot of things the current ARA allows the city of San Diego to do unilaterally. The city was generous and said, well, maybe you should have input on some of those. And this new agreement reflects the city giving up some control and allowing the JPA board to have input on changes. And we go through these next 2, which is a 2-party approval, a joint administrative approval, and the traditional amendment of the agreement, which would take all parties. But these middle 2 steps allow the board to take a vote with the city's concurrence and make a change to this document. And we will be talking later about administrative agreement number 1, which is the industrial waste ordinance, which is an example of something we could change through this administrative process and it wouldn't have to come back to this board. Questions about this?
Thank you, Dexter. Next slide. So key updates to the SARA here, in essence, is the meat and potatoes. In addition to your board documents, in the staff report, there is a summary page on what is SARA, and it provides an overview of some of these key aspects that you could refer to for a very high-level summary. But the 6 key updates to SARA include establishing a cost-sharing approach for phase 1 and 2 of the city's Pure Water program. SARA introduces a new billing method to allocate metro system costs more accurately based on how each agency uses the metro system. Third, it establishes the uniform enforcement of the pre-treatment program by the City of San Diego, and that's outlined in Administrative Agreement number 1, which Dexter will provide more information on. It outlines how future regional water reuse projects may be included in capital cost calculations. Fifth, it provides a sample formula for calculating revenue from repurified water. And then 6, it includes provisions for the treatment and billing of wastewater for military bases. Obviously, we don't have any military bases in Lemon Grove, but Coronado, for example, does, and so it addresses that particular issue for that PA. And additionally, one of the big, I think, components of SARA is that it addresses enforcement actions from regulatory agencies as they relate to sanitary sewer overflows. With the SARA, the PAs and its technical staff will now be involved in qualified regulatory actions. So those SSO, sanitary sewer overflows that meet a certain threshold, the PAs will now, and their respective staff, and MetroGate PA staff will now be involved in reviewing the causes and related issues as a result of those sanitary sewer overflows. Next slide. Right. So as part of the SARA development process, Administrative Agreement number 1 was created as a derivative agreement between the Metro System parties, and I'll hand it over to Dexter to explain a little bit more what it consists of.
In order to understand this, you need to understand that right now, the industrial waste provisions are handled in a separate agreement between each of the PAs in the City of San Diego. Those agreements are not uniform. They've been adopted at different times, and there are fairly major changes from one entity like Lemon Grove and County of San Diego. And an example is the city directly bills industrial users in the county, but not in Lemon Grove. You have to send out separate bills. So every industrial user that is in a PA may be treated quite slightly different. So as part of this process, we wanted to bring all the industrial users into a uniform ordinance and agreement. And what we have done is brought those separate agreements into SARA and into this administrative agreement, so all PAs are now handled identically. So we go through these, we establish a uniform management of the industrial waste pre-treatment and enhanced source control program between San Diego and the PAs instead of having 12 different ones. San Diego will directly issue permits to industrial users, inspect IUs for compliance, and collect fees, fines, and penalties. The district must ensure that all you, that's us, the Sanitation District must ensure that all IUs are regulated by San Diego Industrial Pre-Treatment Program and its own industrial pre-treatment program. That's the same as it is now. We need to do that now, we will need to do it in the future. It ensures that the food service establishments and dischargers of fats, oils, and grease, which we call FOGs, are regulated and monitored by Lemon Grove. And that's also the same as it is now, so that's not changed. and the district must adopt all ordinances and conform to the pre-treatment ordinance of San Diego and enforce the district city municipal code relating to rules and regulations for sewer discharges from the industrial users, and that again is the same as it is now. So those three don't change, but they're all covered under one agreement instead of both separate.
Thank you, Dexter. And as part of that process, the model ordinance that was referred to is included in the attachment of the administrative agreement number 1, which staff will have to come back to the board to have that ordinance adopted prior to the implementation of SARA. Okay, next slide. So we talked about how SARA implements a new billing methodology, and that billing methodology is known as the Functional Allocated Billing System, also known as FAB. And SARA will definitely result in it's in essence a whole new methodology in how to calculate costs and charges paid by the district. Based on the approval and adoption timeline established in the SARA, the approval will not impact the current fiscal year's 25-26 budget. Staff estimates that once the PAs approve SARA, its adoption in essence, when SARA is adopted, the implementation date is July 1 of the following fiscal year. Did I get that right, Dexter? And so, say for example, if the agencies all adopt, the PAs all adopt SARA in February, then the implementation date will be July 1, 2026. Is that correct? However, if all the agencies then approve SARA, say in August of 2026, then SARA does not become effective until July 1 of 2027. At which point, staff estimates that the cost to the Lemon Grove Sanitation District will be approximately 10% from transitioning from the current strike-based billing system to the functional allocated based billing system. And primarily, Lemon Grove has a high peak factor, so when it rains a lot, there's water that gets into the system, and we have a higher average than our counter PA agencies, and so that 10% cost increase is primarily a standby charge that is, in essence, incurred by the district. And then as part of any budgeting process, we would come before the board to ensure that those FAB costs are incorporated into our budget process. Obviously, the Metro JPA provides the district pretty much a year in advance of its anticipated costs, so we'll have that information. Okay. Anything you want to add on FAB?
I would just like to add that we are currently working with the city and all of the other PAs to try to reduce those peaking factors, to possibly bring that charge down. It was implemented mostly because the East County agencies are only giving us peak flows, and there wouldn't have been a charge for them delivering their peak flows. So we incorporated this charge so they would be fairly charged and the rest of us would be fairly charged. So this charge is fair, but we hope to bring down the peaking factor for all of the agencies and reduce this charge to.
Thank you. And the chart that you see here, in essence, is a breakdown of the costs borne by all the PAs, and Lemon Grove's on a percentage basis is 0.9% currently under the strength-based system, and is expected to go to 1% moving to the FAB system. Additionally, there will be some costs as well after 2027 when the East Water Purification program comes into effect. So those East County agencies, as part of that program, will divert their flows that are currently going to the metro system, and will be treating those flows on their own. And so there's a cost associated with that will be borne by the other PAs. Is that somewhat?
Yeah, it's an economies of scale. You want to have quite a few economies of scale.
So Mr. Wilson said that the economies of scale, in essence, are retracted, and the other PAs will essentially will be responsible for those costs from those agencies that are diverting their flows, which includes Coronado, Padre Dam, and the county, and Oklahoma. Okay, next slide. Just before we get into the recommendation, considering the district's long reliance and participation in the metro system, and again, we don't have a wastewater treatment plant, and we don't have any treatment facilities, and the cost efficiencies of San Diego's scale, continued participation in the metro system is essential. SARA preserves the district's collaboration and wastewater service reliability without interruption. It renews the cooperative framework between Metro JPA and the City of San Diego. You've heard that relations between Metro and City of San Diego have never been better until of recent. And so adopting SARA provides a secure process to treat the district's wastewater for the next 40 years. And before we move with provide the recommendation, I just want to acknowledge Chairman Jerry Jones, who's been very integral in this process. He has chaired the ad hoc committee, which was a subcommittee of Metro to, in essence, guide this document through a committee. And there was over 300 plus meetings to get the document to where it is today, working with not only MetroTAC, which is the PA's staff members, but their respective legal teams, and of course the City of San Diego. And here with us this evening is Lisa Celaya, and she can provide her perspective from the City of San Diego. But this document really has gone through the gauntlet, and I just want to acknowledge Chairman Jones' effort in that process. And so with that, district staff recommends approval of the resolutions adopting SARA and the administrative agreement number 1, with or without minor non-substantive revisions. Both agreements, again, were developed during numerous meetings and extensive negotiations between Metro JPA and San Diego, and therefore we recommend adoption on behalf of all PAs. And with that, happy to take any questions. And this slide here just is to let everyone know that we have Chairman Jerry Jones here, Metro JPA Chair, Dexter Wilson with me this evening, who's the engineer for Metro JPA, and Mrs. Celaya from the City of San Diego, Executive Assistant Director for wastewater and water.
So thank you very much, and do public comment? So we have one public commenter, it's Mr. Jones. Jerry Jones.
I want Lisa to speak first.
Okay, so, yeah, if you can, Lisa Celaya, we would invite you to come up and present on
appreciate it, thank you very much. So as stated, Lisa Sly, Executive Assistant Director for the Public Utilities. Oops, is it on?
You
Yeah,
can,
really
really
close.
close.
It's actually easier just to take it off and then talk right into it.
How about that? There we go. Thank you. All of our mics in our auditorium are all very finicky, so I understand that. I just wanted to take an opportunity also to express appreciation not only to your representatives, but especially Chair Jones. His leadership in regards to this over the last 4 years has been instrumental in making sure that all of our participating agencies are aligned in moving forward. But this agreement is so important to all of us. We operate as a regional perspective, and I think this document is one of those things that represents the best of what we can do when we work all together collectively. So we just wanted to say that we appreciate your representatives, Chair Jones, and everybody working collaboratively together in regards to this and in moving us forward. And I'm available for any questions, but just wanted to express my appreciation.
Thank you so much, Ms. Laya. Next, I'll invite Jerry Jones up, and then Jerry, if you could explain, I know, is there anyone here from Padre Dam?
No.
Okay, we did extend an invitation to Padre Dam and let them.
Well, nobody that I know of, so.
Okay. We did extend an invitation to Padre Dam and let them know that we were considering this today. But can you tell us a little bit of the issues surrounding Padre Dam as well?
Sure, but before I do that, I just want to say thank you to this council for supporting me, not only before I retired, but after I retired in this effort. This effort is 4.5 years, 300 meetings, and $1 million to get to this point. And I can tell you that what we brought to the table and what the staff has done for the ratepayers of Lemon Grove will definitely more than pay for that $1 million. Okay, that's the case. I also want to thank my alternate, Jessica, for all of her attendance. She's at all of the meetings, and we really appreciate it. And it's been noticed, so thank you. Padre Dam, they have told us that they will not approve this agreement as long as it has the 2/3 vote component in it that we have in there for making administrative decisions. Okay, haven't really told us why, and I don't understand it because this is an agreement that actually costs them less money than the current agreement. But it is what it is. So even though you guys hopefully will pass this tonight, we still have a lot of work ahead of us to try and get through all whatever it is that is keeping them from doing this. So, it's been a good agreement. It's been, I've been working between the first one and the second one in chair for 8 years. It's been an 8-year run trying to, getting this through in 2 agreements. And Karen Keys, our executive director, reminded me today. Karen Keys reminded me today that I've been on Metro for 23 years, and I've been either the chair or the vice chair for 15, I think she said. My, how time flies. Wastewater is one of those things, it's the cornerstone of civilization. Nobody wants to think about it, though, it's not sexy, but it needs to be done, and I'm happy to do it. So, if there's any questions I can answer for any of you, Did I answer the Padre Dam question?
Yeah, I think that's great, thank you.
You guys are the fourth ones. It's been, first one was La Mesa, then Coronado and Poway, and you guys are the fourth ones. And we'll be showing up at the rest of the council meetings, trying to get this thing shepherded through. And hopefully we can get it done by June. So that's the goal. So, anyways, no questions?
We will. We'll go around the round
Okay.
here.
Should I sit down or you want me to sit?
Yeah, you can sit down for now. Yeah.
Thank you. Dexter has all the answers.
And I'd really like to thank everybody for the time that they put into this presentation. And I also wanted to let you know how much is going on behind the scenes. So, we've had the opportunity to have this explained to us in closed session. Many of us have had personal one-on-one meetings with, former council member Jerry Jones. I've also reached out and spoken with Mark Graysick, who's our representative at Helix Water District. We've had staff briefings on this issue, so we come into this meeting really well informed and really well prepared. The hard part is getting it communicated, because it took a long time for us to digest it and get it into a manner that like everyday people can understand, because they had to break it down for me like that. And so I appreciate the time that everyone has taken to make sure that we as a council understand what this means for our community and understand what went into making this happen. I also have had a meeting with Suzanne Till, who's a representative with Padre Dam, and she also explained to me some of the issues that Padre Dam had. And we did make a special effort to make sure that we had Padre Dam here to kind of explain their issues. But even after hearing what their concerns were, in particular with the 2/3 vote, I think that this is the most fair approach, and I think allowing one entity that's involved in this have the opportunity to derail a project and requiring unanimous vote. That's the alternative that Padre Dam is seeking, is the unanimous vote versus a 2/3 majority vote. I think 2/3 majority is what we require for bonds. It's in a number of different areas. It shows that there's a clear and strong majority that's supporting something. And I think if we give one entity too much power, it's not gonna lead to fair and just results. So I'm in support of this. I'll look to my council to see if they have any questions. And I'll go ahead and start with our alternate representative, Jessica Herdy, and I really do thank her for her service. Jerry and Karen Keith have kept their promise to help get the alternates up to speed and really give them training. And a lot of these extra meetings that we go to, they're not compensated, and so they've made sure that she gets, it's not a lot of money, but she gets compensation for attending these meetings on behalf of the city. And it's really important to create that next generation of people coming up and support them, because this is a very technical area, and we really enjoy having you there. So thank you, Councilmember Herdy, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Jerry Jones, for what you said. And your presentation, Dexter, very wonderful. I feel that I want to kind of reiterate what Allison, the Mayor Snow, said, in that it is, the 2/3 vote is really important that we hit that mark. I know that in the past it had been the unanimous, and that, you know, might have benefited or been fine to do, but now we're at a crossing roads where really these are just it's becoming more mainstream, more fair across all the different PAs. It will eventually be better cost effective for the whole group. And as a region, we have to be thinking, and not just as ourselves, because we all rely on that system. And so we all have to participate in it. And I'm all for fairness. So I like that it got streamlined, so thank you for taking the time. I've been, like I said, going to all the meetings. I've seen the dedication that this group of people has put into it. And I did read the document, so I do see all the changes that were in it that were great. And I'm excited, and I hope that you agree. That's all I have to say.
I'll look to my other council members. Anyone else have questions? Councilmember Altamirano.
Mr. Jerry Jones, thank you so much for all your hard work and for continuing to represent our city, for advocating for us to save money in the long run. Times are hard, finances are hard, a lot of households are hurting, and I just really think that the work that you're doing is we're gonna see it in the future. Now that we're relying more on pure water and not natural water, I think it's very important that we have good representation. Thank you, Lisa, Ms. Celaya, for coming, and Mr. Dexter, I appreciate it. And everyone else that took a lot of hard work and a lot of effort to make this happen. I appreciate all their commitment to streamlining it and to help us save in the future, especially because water is very scarce. So, thank you.
Any other comments? Councilmember Smith?
Yeah, I just want to make similar comments. I want to express my gratitude to Chairman Jones for meeting with me before this meeting so that I could be brought up to speed on, I mean, it's my first meeting, so I needed to be brought up to speed. It's a long document, but very, very grateful for the time that Jerry spent with me to bring me on board to this. And from what I'm seeing, I am really grateful that we've had such dedicated work for the past 4.5 years to come to this agreement in a way that is fair, in a way that can be adjusted without an excessive expense in the future. And I look forward to continuing to work with Chairman Jones, as long as he's around for me to work with, and Metro JPA.
I did have one follow-up question. Dexter, you had mentioned that that you guys are working to bring down the peak factors. Can you tell me a little bit more of what's involved in that and what we can look forward to?
Well, we put together a committee, the city and all of the TAC reps. We've been meeting for about a year. We have a very, very extensive metering system. I think we have 80 meters in the metro system. And what we have decided to do is, instead of pointing fingers at one another, we're going to look at those meters and we're going to see what areas we're getting. It's called inflow when it rains. You get inflow in the sewer system. Sometimes it's just that little hole in the top of the manholes. And sometimes it's, you have a manhole out in the creek that's taking water in. We're gonna all work together finding areas. We're hoping to find somewhere between 50 and 100 MGD. Try to find some sort of joint funding source. So instead of maybe where Lemon Grove would be looking for, let's say, $2 million and Mesa $3 million, maybe we go together and we try to get $20 or $50 million in the state revolving fund loan and put all these projects together and implement them. And we work together. The city of San Diego is very good at getting the state revolving fund loans. It would be very hard for Lemon Grove to get them on their own because it would just take too much staff work. But in this spirit of cooperation, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to identify the projects, get funding, and implement. We'll all be better off.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you so much. I have Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza.
So I remember when I joined the council 11 years ago, I'll never forget a 3-hour lunch with Jerry Jones. And it was everything you ever wanted to know about Metro JPA. I will never forget that. It was a sub shop downtown. And I had to explain to my boss why I took such a long lunch that day. And I'm glad that you already met with Seth, because I was gonna say, Seth, this is something for you to look forward to. I do have a couple of questions. So you mentioned that the administrative agreement is derivative. What exactly does that mean, that it's a derivative? I know what a derivative lawsuit is, but I didn't know what you meant by it.
It's in essence an offshoot of Sarah. Again, it's one of the 6 parking lot items that required in essence its own agreement.
So you mean it's not substantially changing the agreement, it's just that changing some of those 6 items?
It is one of the 6 items that required its own, in essence, agreement or framework.
In Lemon Grove, can you give me an example? What are some of the industrial users in Lemon Grove?
So Lemon Grove's industrial users include Maverick Toyota is one of them. There used to be Harry Miller Toyota. There was a former, or Pony Express Car Wash. I think there's another car wash, I can't remember the name of it. There is EW, some federal, I forget the full name, but EW, it's in essence a heavy duty mechanic shop that works on semis and trash trucks. But in essence, an industrial user is a user that discharges heavy metals or other chemicals into the sanitary sewer system.
And then, for the food service, who in Lemon Grove is, monitoring?
So this is where some work needs to be done on behalf of the district. The district currently does not have a FOG program, fat, oils, and grease program, where staff would go out to food establishments to ensure that they have grease traps and are implementing best management practices to ensure that those byproducts do not enter the sanitary sewer system. A FOG program would be implemented by staff.
And if I could just explain that, if you don't have a history of FOG-related sanitary sewer spills, you're not required to have a formalized FOG program. You have to implement grease traps and those sort of things when you're putting in a new restaurant, but you don't have to have a formalized FOG program. It could be just slightly enhanced from what you're doing.
Our city manager?
And I just want to add to staff's comment on that. I've been here about 10 years, and we've had several sewer spills related to fog issues with restaurants, either on Broadway or on Lemon Grove Avenue, and some of the small eateries that are now home-based. And so we need to really have that ordinance to help keep our system running fairly well, because if you've ever had a sewer backup, it actually backs up into your house, and that is not very pleasant, or it backs up into the restaurant, and then that really creates issues with the restaurant, with the health department. So this has been something that has been on my to-do list for a while, and I know when Mr. Murguia got here, that was on his to-do list. So we're gonna be taking action in 26, 27 to get that done.
Okay, that's all I have, thank you. And thank you also, Mr. Jones, for your dedication.
Anytime you're ready for lunch.
So we'll go, and I just also wanted to honor, Mr. Jones. He recently lost his wife, and it was a devastating blow, and we're grateful for her service. She was a great community servant as well, and many of us were able to attend her celebration of life. But Jerry's like, deals with his grief by just diving into wastewater, and he didn't miss a beat. Like, he was there to still see the issues through in the city. And I just wanted to tell you, I super appreciate everything that you've done on behalf of the city. Thank you for your beautiful wife, and sharing her with the community, and we honor her. So thank you so much. All right, well, do I have a motion on this? Okay, we have to do both resolutions separately. So I move to adopt a resolution approving the second amended and restated regional wastewater disposal agreement between the Lemon Grove Sanitation District and the City of San Diego in a form substantially similar to the version of the agreement attached thereto, and authorize the general manager to approve non-substantive changes and execute the agreement.
Second.
City Clerk, can you take the roll?
The motion was made by Chair Snow, with a second by Board Member Heredia. I'll now conduct the roll to go on the record. Board Member Heredia.
Aye.
Board Member Altamirano.
Aye.
Board Member Smith.
Aye.
Vice Chair Mendoza.
Aye.
Chair Snow.
Aye.
Motion carries on a vote of 5-0.
I move to adopt a resolution approving the adoption of the administrative agreement number 1 between the Lemon Grove Sanitation District and the City of San Diego in a form substantially similar to the version of the agreement attached thereto, and authorize the general manager to approve non-substantive changes and execute the agreement.
Second that.
The motion was made by Chair Snow with a second by Board Member Heredia. I'll now conduct the roll to go on the record. Board Member Smith.
Aye.
Board Member Altamirano.
Aye.
Board Member Heredia.
Aye.
Vice Chair Mendoza.
Aye.
Chair Snow.
Aye.
The motion carries on a vote of 5-0.
Excuse me, Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Would it be possible to direct staff to send a appreciation letter to Jerry Jones and the people at the JPA for all their hard work?
I think that's very appropriate.
Thank you.
All right, now we'll move to item number 3. This is the Mayor Pro Tem rotation for calendar year 2026. I'll introduce our City Manager, Lydia Romero, to present the staff report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and City Council members. I'm here to present the next rotation of the, for the Mayor Pro Tem. As you know, last year we had several brand-new council members that joined our council body, and so this council decided to ignore their policy for 1 year and give Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza a second year as Mayor Pro Tem. This year, we are back on regular rotation with, staff is recommending that based on resolution number 2649, that that the council approve the rotation of Jessica Heredia as the vice mayor for the city of Lemon Grove. And then set the, mayor pro tem, not vice mayor. And set the rotation for the next 2 years, although the 26th election may change that, to Yadira Altamirano and Seth Smith, are the 2 follow-up council members that would take the rotation, should they run for election and win that particular election. And with that, staff recommends Councilmember Jessica Heredia to be appointed as Mayor Pro Tem, commencing tomorrow, December 17th, and serving through December 15th of 2026.
Do you have any public comment on this item?
Mayor Snow and council members, I have no speaker slips for this item.
Any discussion from the council? Do I have a motion to approve?
To adopt a resolution confirming the rotation of Councilmember Heredia to serve as Mayor Pro Tem commencing December 17, 2025 until December 15, 2026.
I'll second.
The motion was made by Councilmember Altamirano with a second by Councilmember Smith to approve staff's recommendation. I'll now conduct the roll to go on the record. Councilmember Heredia.
Aye.
Councilmember Altamirano.
Aye.
Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza.
Aye.
Mayor Snow.
Aye.
The motion carries on a vote of 5-0.
Next, we'll move to item number 4. This is the appointment of city council members to committees, commissions, and boards for calendar year 2026. I'll turn to our city manager, Lydia Romero, to present the staff report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. These are, next slide. I'm gonna list, on the board, the recommended appointments from Mayor Snow for the, regional boards and commissions. Those that we are looking at reappointing is, let me pull it up on my slides. And I have to thank the city clerk for making these slides much prettier than what I did. One of the appointments will be for the city schools district collaboration. This is the quarterly meeting we have with the school district to talk about issues that are of common interest. the East County Economic Development Council, Heartland Communications Facility Authority, Heartland Fire Training Facility, Helix Water District Representative and Liaison, League of California Cities Executive Committee meeting, the League of California Cities Conference delegation vote, Metro Commission and Metro Wastewater JPA, Metropolitan Transportation System, commonly known as MTS, Sandag Board of Directors, Sweetwater River Advisory Panel, East County Chamber of Commerce Liaison, and the San Diego Area Wastewater Management District and the California Joint Powers Insurance Authority Board of Directors. As attached to your staff report and up on the two slides, were the recommended representatives and the alternates to all of these committees. And so staff is recommending that you affirm the mayor's appointments to these committees. And with that, I would be happy to answer any questions related to this item.
Thank you, and do we have any public comment on this item?
Mayor Snow and council members, I have no speaker slips for this item.
Okay. I'll look to council to see if they have any questions or would like any revisions. I'll start with Councilmember Smith.
I don't have any questions. I don't see any revisions that need to be made. From my perspective, I believe I'm filling the roles that CFII had when he was on council, and I see it as sensible, given our other council members have been in their positions for a year now, to not shuffle them around. The experience is there, and it doesn't seem sensible to change that at the moment.
Thank you. Councilmember Heredia.
Yes, I did have a ask, if I might. On the Helix Water District, it has Yadira Altamirano, and I've been the council seat for that the whole year. And I'm kind of actually really enjoying the water. Kind of goes well with the wastewater. So I would like to see if we could flip it back to the way it was, where she's the alternate and I'm the main.
Okay. So the reason I did that was Councilmember Altamirano didn't have a lot of first chair positions. It's let's see. I did move Councilmember Altamirano to the first chair for the East County Chamber of Commerce. Councilmember Altamirano, do you want to weigh in?
I'm okay with her being first, on that, and if it's okay, as we're at it, if you don't mind, I like the East County Economic Development Council, so if I could take alternate on that, see, that'd be good, or if it's okay with you.
That sounds good. All right, and then we'll go to Councilmember Altamirano. Do you have anything else? And Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza?
No, I'm fine.
Looks good to me. Can I have a recommendation to ratify the committee, commissions, and board assignments for the city council members for calendar year 2026, with the first adjustment being for East County Economic Development Council. The alternate will now be Yadira, Councilmember Altamirano. For the Helix Water District, the first seat will be Councilmember Heredia, and the alternate will be Councilmember Altamirano, and no other changes. Can I get a second on that?
I'll second.
And, Mr. Clerk, can you take the roll?
Just to make sure. The maker of the motion was made by you, right? Maker of the motion was made by Mayor Snow, with the second by Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza, to approve staff's recommendation. Those changes on our official roll to go on the record. Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Councilmember Altamirano.
Aye.
Councilmember Heredia.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza.
Aye.
Mayor Snow.
Aye.
The motion carries on the vote of 5-0.
Next, we'll move to item number 5. This is a city council salary increase. I'll introduce our city manager, Lydia Romero, to present the staff report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and City Council members. It's the first time I've had 3 reports in a row. Next slide, please. So the City Council requested that staff come back with salary increases for the Lemon Grove City Council. There has not been a salary increase since 2015, which took effect in 2016. One of the reasons why is in 2017, 16, 17, and 18, the city was facing a financial deficit in which the council chose to not increase their salary at the time. We have stabilized our finances, we have had budget surpluses for the last several years, and so the council had asked to bring this back. So that is why it's here today. There are 2 governing sections for the city council salary. The first governing section is Lemon Grove Municipal Code, Chapter 2.16, and State Government Code 36516, Sub 2, Sub A. The Lemon Grove Municipal Chapter actually refers to the State Government Code, so we have to adhere to the State Government Code. The State Government Code was updated in 2023 with effectiveness in 2024, but what that update did is it actually approved salary increases for various populations of cities. We are the least populated in the metrics, and so any populations of 35,000 or below, or up to 35,000, the council members can get a salary of $950. Right now, the current council salary is $803, and that is written into state law. If the council wants to do something less than the $950, let me know and we can change the ordinance. I want to point out in the same municipal code section of 2.1603, it actually addresses the mayor's compensation, and that was done at the time when the mayor was a directly elected position, and the voters voted on bringing in the mayor as a directly elected position. So in that particular piece of the ordinance, it states that the mayor is paid the same rate as the city council, plus 75% of said rate. So if the council adopts the $950, it's $950 plus 75% of $950, and in the next slide, I'll show you the total. And the interesting part of the government code section, which is here, I will not read it, it is a long section, but just to capsulize it, that if the council passes the ordinance, introduces the ordinance today, and then has a second reading of the ordinance in January, the effective date of the salary increase won't take place until after the municipal election in 2026 upon the certification of the results. So you are setting the salary for future councils. And that is done intentionally on law so the councils couldn't increase their salaries by statute as they're currently sitting. Next slide. As I previously mentioned, the current city council salary is $803 per month. The mayor gets $1,405 per month. And the last time this was enacted was in 2015. It took effect in January of 2017 because the council race was so close in the 2016 election, we did not certify the results until January. The proposal, if the city council chooses to introduce this ordinance, would increase the city council salary to $950. The mayor's salary would increase to $1,662.50. The effective date will be upon the certification of the results of the 2026 municipal election. And staff is recommending that the city council adopt the ordinance changing the Lemon Grove Municipal Code 2.16.02, establishing the city council salaries. I would be happy to answer any questions.
Do we have any public comment on this item?
Mayor Snow and council members, I have no speaker slips for this item.
Okay, I'll turn to my council members and see if anyone has public comment. Questions? Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza.
I just want to say that, overall, if we vote for this, it's maybe a $10,000 to $12,000 increase per year to our budget, which is not significant. You know, when you hear us give our reports about what we do, for the city, it's, you know, I mean, none of us are here because we're trying to get rich, but a little bit, I mean, this isn't gonna affect me. I'm gonna retire. You know, this does affect the decision of people in our community who have to devote a considerable amount of time to this job, and it shouldn't be a volunteer position. We should be compensated for all the work we do, the staff meetings that we go to, the staff preparation for these meetings, for Sandbag meetings, which we are also compensated for. But it takes a lot of time. So I am 100% in favor of doing this for whoever gets elected in 2026.
All right, do I have a motion to introduce an ordinance changing Lemon Grove Municipal Code Section 2.16.020?
I think I sort of did that. I actually have a question.
Yes.
Simple,
Councilmember
a very
Ray.
simple question. The number that the state comes up with, how does that get adjusted?
So in the legislation itself, if you're at the current cap, they have provisions to look at, 5% of what the operative adjustment, salary adjustment that went into effect of the ordinance. And that was one of the changes that the 23 legislation did, is because a lot of folks were bumping up against the cap, and there was no way to increase the salary. And so as a general law city, we have to default to the general fund code. If we were a charter city, the charter city would dictate the council salary. So there's the differentiation on that one. So in the future, the city council can then adopt an ordinance that increases it by 5%.
Thank you.
And also note that, we are the least paid city council members and mayors in the entire county. Even like cities of smaller sizes, have higher, salaries than we have. So I think this is, since 2015 is a really long time, over a decade of not getting, any, pay increases, and, this market is wild. It's really expensive these days out there, so I appreciate this, and I will second it then.
The motion was made by Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza with a second by Mayor Snow. I will now conduct the roll to call the record. Councilmember Heredia.
Aye.
Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Councilmember Altamirano.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza.
Aye.
Mayor Snow.
Aye.
Motion carries on a vote of 5-0.
Now we will move to item 1C, which was pulled from the consent calendar. And I will turn it over to our city clerk, Joel Pablo. Actually, I'm just gonna go straight to Councilmember Smith. Since that, he was the one that pulled the item for request, can you proceed to ask the staff your questions?
Item 1C is just the minutes from last meeting. I was not a council member last meeting, and I just pulled it because I would like to abstain from that vote.
Okay. All right, can I get a motion to approve, item 1C from the consent calendar?
I'll move approval.
Second.
The motion was made by Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza with a second by Councilmember Heredia. I will now conduct the roll to call the record. Councilmember Altamirano.
Aye.
Councilmember Smith.
Abstain.
Councilmember Heredia.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza.
Aye.
Mayor Snow.
Aye.
The motion carries on a vote of 4-0 and then 1 abstention.
All right, thank you so much. Next, we will turn to the council reports. And, we'll skip Councilmember Smith. Oh, well, he did have, why don't you tell us about your meeting with Jared?
Did he buy you lunch?
No, we split that bill. Yeah, so I met with Jerry Jones, what was it? We changed the date 3 times, I think it was Thursday. I met with Jerry Jones on Thursday, we discussed the Metro Wastewater and the SARA agreement, sort of how that came to be, the work that went into it, the years upon years of hard work and preparation, and some of the ways that helped our residents in their future billing, how it was going to be an ultimate cost savings for us, how some of the Pure Water project is going to help with water service to our region, and I mean, given that we've had several droughts recently, that's going to be a major project, and sort of setting aside the ways that we're paying our part for that. So very informative meeting, and very helpful in being able to fully understand the topic in front of me for this meeting.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Altamirano.
I did not have my list at the last meeting, so I'm gonna go back to November 3rd. I attended a briefing with City Manager Lydia Romero. Same day, November 3rd, I attended a meeting with former council member, Mr. Jerry Jones. And on November 11th, I met with City Council member Vivian Moreno. On the 18th, I attended the Chamber of Commerce and Government Affairs Committee Zoom meeting. On the 22nd of November, I attended Ms. Cheryl Jones' service. As Councilmember Heredia mentioned, it was absolutely amazing. It was beautiful. All the work that she did with Helix Band in Lemon Grove, the skate park, it was such a nice tribute. Thank you for having me there. And on the 25th, I had a meeting with Todd Brinkman. I spoke about the history and the future of Lemon Grove. On the 25th, I also met with City of La Mesa Council member Laura Lothian. She had a lot of great ideas for the City of Lemon Grove and how we can collaborate with La Mesa. On the 1st of December, I met with City Manager Lydia Romero, and let me see here. On the 5th, I attended our 20th annual bonfire. Amazing, great turnout. Decorations were beautiful. I loved all the lights, the colorful lights on top, and I see they're still hanging there. So thank you, Portland and staff, for all the hard work. It was really nice to see everybody there. On 13th of December, I attended and volunteered at the Lemon Grove Community Toy Drive, chaired by community member and residents Aubrey Lynn and Leanna LeBaron. We had over 500 children receive toys, and over 1,000 community members were served. Big Boy Tacos were there. They give out free tacos for all the children. Elevated Coffee was there. They give out cookies. We had a DJ, a Santa, and a lot of people just had an amazing time. Same day, we did our first annual cookie exchange at the Red Barn, which was formerly the Women's Club, Forward Club, and that was a really good turnout. There was hundreds of yummy, yummy cookies. It was colorful and just very, very nice time. And I'll go back to the 11th. We had a staff briefing with city manager and all the city staff there, and the takeaway from that meeting was very nice to hear that SANDAG awarded the city of Lemon Grove with over $4 million in grants for some capital improvements around the city. So, thank you. bumps. We need to work on that.
Councilmember Heredia?
On December 4th, I attended the Metro Wastewater JPA meeting, and I was also at the wastewater management district, which is Sandus. Is that how you say that? And that was the original JPA, in a sense, when they first started it. It's still going as a body, just in case they want to use it for something. I want to tell a funny story about it, though. I got appointed vice chair on that board, okay? And the only thing on the agenda was, are we gonna disband? We didn't vote, we're gonna talk about it next year. So I'm hoping that's a revolving question. But anyways, I thought it was fun. And then on the same day, I met with the newly appointed council member, Seth Smith, and we went over some of his goals and priorities and just talked about the city here and what kind of visions we had. On the 5th, I also attended the bonfire, and as we all know, every year it just gets more incredible and more incredible. The music was great, the vibe was definitely packed, and just real good energy. I didn't see anybody having a bad time out there. The following morning, I got up and I went and helped the busy bees at the promenade, and they started their planting of their native pollinator pathway out there. If you get a chance, go check it out. They have informational signs that were installed and tells you about the plants and the pollinators here in our area. Then that same day, I left there and I went to the Sunshine House to continue working on restoring the original hardwood floors in there. That building was built in 1922, and as she said, it was the former women's club or forward club clubhouse, and we're lucky enough to partner with the Baptist Church to be able to still use it, and we're helping to restore it in exchange. On 12/6, I went to the Public Works, their union had a Christmas party, and that was really cool. I got to hang out with like Todd Gloria and some other fancy people, and so that was kind of neat. Then on 12/7, or 12/8, sorry, I went to Cal City's webinar on the new SB 707. I already had an introduction thanks to our city clerk, but this just kind of helps solidify a little bit of the information for how we're going to move forward with recording our meetings and what that's going to look like. I'm excited for it, and I think you will be too. Then on that same day, I attended the Cal City's regular board meeting on Zoom, and that was great. 12/9, I had a briefing with the city manager and Pro Tem Mendoza, former Pro Tem Mendoza. One more day, okay. And then at 12/11, I met with City Attorney Kirsten Steinke, and we just kind of went over the year and what my visions for next year might be. Then I attended, and I really want to focus on how cool this is, because these 3 events are all inspired by somebody here in the community, not the city, not a group. It's one person that said, I want to do this. So the toy drive, that's Aubrey's gig, and she does it every year, and it's amazing every year. This year topped last year for sure. The cookie exchange was Jasmine Mendoza. She did like everything by herself, pretty much. We went to the Memories That Make Us holiday stories. That's Calvin Banson, and that was incredible. It was stories of people here in town of their Christmas holidays, and some were anonymous, some were not. I didn't participate in it because I was a little nervous. I couldn't come up with anything. But now I'm like, okay, next year I'm getting in on that. And then I don't know the date, but I was appointed to the Community Services Policy Committee for Cal Cities, and so I'll be excited to represent the San Diego region for that. And Monday, 12/15, I did go and tour on my own the La Mesa speed humps, and they were really cool. And I believe these are 25-mile-an-hour speed humps, and they're going to allow the public to try 20-mile-per-hour speed humps next time. And so I thought it was really cool that they're letting their community participate. Maybe it's something we could look into. It's a temporary movable speed bump, and it looked very cost-effective. I'm gonna take you. That's all I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Mendoza.
December 5, I attended the San Diego Transportation Committee meeting. We, among other things, we went over the Transnet proposed 2026 bond issuance. the proposed final 2025 coordinated plan, the Transnet Smart Growth Incentive Program, Cycle 6 funding recommendations, which we recommended to the board. And that includes 2 grants for Lemon Grove. One, they're both planning grants. One is the Lemon Grove Avenue, Massachusetts Avenue Safe Routes to Transit Connectivity Plan, which I confirmed with the city manager includes the area around San Alto School. And the other planning grant was the Lemon Grove Regional Bikeway Corridor Study, which I was very excited about. I actually used to ride my bike from Lemon Grove to downtown San Diego where I worked. And I took the trolley back, but I did ride my bike there. And let me tell you, it's not a great route. So anything we can do to improve these bike routes, I fully support. And then on December 5th, I attended the bonfire with my family. We all had an amazing time, especially the kids. Then we had December 8th, I also attended the Cal Cities meeting, and I have been a member of the California League of Cities Transportation, Communication, and Public Works Committee, and will continue that again for next year. I also attended a briefing with city staff, and then on December 15th, I attended the LoSAN board meeting. LoSAN is the entity that controls the train service from San Diego all the way to San Luis Obispo, and I represent MTS on the LoSAN board. It's very exciting because I didn't realize until I got on this board how antiquated the train system at Los Angeles, the tracks at Los Angeles station are. And so we approved a federal letter of support for Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transit to apply for a federal grant to completely update the train system in downtown LA, which is the hub of this LoSAN corridor. So that was it for me.
On December 3rd, I went to the League Leaders League of Cities event up in Rancho Mirage. It was a good opportunity. I'm the first vice president on our San Diego County's League of Cities group, and it was really educational. Got to really meet some incredible people. While I was up there, I was also up there on December 4th as well. On December 5th, I was able to hustle back and get to the Helix Charter High School's 13th annual supporters breakfast. It was an incredible event, and then the most incredible event was the Lemon Grove bonfire, so to speak. If I had known that they would let me detonate the fire, I would have signed up for this a long time ago. It was a real detonator. There was a bomb and arson squad there. It was so much fun, and just the vibe was absolutely incredible. It's all the beautiful things that I love about this city. On December 6th, we got up bright and early and went to do the park promenade planning. And then I attended the Ask Me Local 127 holiday party. On December 8th, I attended a meeting with our city manager, and I also had a telephone meeting with one of the community members on Elroy Street. On December 9th, I had the opportunity to meet with our incoming council member, Seth Smith. And on October 10th, I met with a community member who is working on a property on New Jersey Street in Demi Hill. On December 11th, I attended a staff briefing. On December 12th, I attended the Sandig meeting where we approved the regional transportation plan. There was a lot of discussion about this. I can confirm happily that the youth program is funded and will be moving forward, so that's an excellent coming about in there. There's also, even though the purple line is not specifically called out and like has a timeline, in that they reassured everyone there that the purple line is alive and well. It's just not reasonably going to be completed within the time frame of this particular regional transportation plan. On December 15th, I met with the people who are building a development on Dayton Court, and also met with another community member who lives on Elroy Street. And on December 16th, I went in person and toured the place where they're gonna put in a park at the Dayton Court project. And I also met with Tara Lawson-Remer. I'm really concerned for families in our community. It is a real struggle right now economically. And we desperately need protections in place for normal families, people who are working hard, and we have lost the protection of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau on a federal level. They've been dismantling it, and there's a lot of issues, and we need to make sure families are protected. And so I discussed with her team and her staff about the creation of a county version of a Consumer Financial Protection program. So hopefully that will be something that's coming online. And that's it for me. And now I'll turn to the city manager for her report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and City Council. I'm gonna give you an update on our RTFH grant. So we're currently in phase 2 of that grant, and we had 39 households who are on the by name list. As of today, 23 of those households have been housed. 23 on the by name list. And then just kind of looping back to the first phase, if you recall, we had 32 people on the by name list. RTFH was able to connect with one of those members that sort of refused the initial going around and was able to be housed. So now the first phase has 31 of the 32 housed. Bringing a total with both phases, 54 households off the street and in housing with wraparound services for 2 years, so they can get the support that they need so they're no longer homeless. It is a really effective program, and phase 2 is still is slated to continue to about mid-February, early March, depending on how fast everybody to get housed. The RTFH, along with Mr. Bates, who is the staff contact and liaison for that program, will be back with, again, full matrix of what phase 2 was, and we'll all start talking about phase 3. So we're really excited that that program is finally bearing fruit, and the homeless are being housed, especially during this time when it's getting awfully cold in the evening. I also want to announce, and I forgot to put this in my miscellaneous update to the City Council, that the RFP for the upgrades of this chambers has been out on the street. It's on Planet Bids. It's a bidding website, so any contractors can go on that bidding website to get that. If for any reason you want to see a copy of what that RFP is, the city clerk can send that to you. And then I'm going to pass on to staff all of the great comments from the bonfire. We do have, if you look on our social media, a survey. This year I asked for a survey to be done. We normally just do the vendors, but now she's opened it up. The staff member in charge of it has opened it up to the community and how we can be better next year. And so it's good to get that feedback so we can improve what is already a great program. And then lastly, staff is going to check and get back to the City Council, but the Public Works Director, and I think we have one more Sanday grant that does improvements on the Broadway Sweetwater corridor on the east side. So we're going to double check, because we both thought we also got that grant. So that would be 3 infrastructure planning grants that we got from Sanday for all of the work that we're doing here. Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about Winter Camp?
Oh, Winter Camp is going on. We have as you know, our community services staff member that leads camp has left us for the city of La Mesa for bigger and brighter sites. But we have 2 camp counselors who've been with us for many, many years who are leading that effort. Mr. Bates is gonna be their, liaison for the summer camp as we hire this new position, or the winter camp that we hire this new position, and then they'll be able to take over multiple camps. Camps start next week at the recreation center and run through, the 31st of this year. That completes my report.
Thank you so much. Next, I'll introduce Kristen Steinke to adjourn the meeting into closed session, but before we do that, do we have any public comments on closed session?
Mayor Snow, I do not have any public comments on closed session.
Thank you. City Attorney Steinke.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. We are adjourned to closed session for conference with legal counsel on anticipated litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9D4 for one case. And the second item is public employment under Government Code Section 54957 regarding the city manager.
Before we adjourn to closed session, just one more item from the city manager.
I forgot to mention, if the clerk can go back one slide, just a reminder to everybody that City Hall will be closed during the holiday season from December 24th through January 1. We will reopen on January 5th at 7 a.m. This allows the entire team to enjoy the holidays with their family.
Thank you.